The strangest sexual practices of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Bedtime stories history. Hello guys, today we will know about a very distant world. A world warmed by the sun of the Nile. A world of mud brick homes and slow-moving days. This gentle telling is meant to help you rest. To let your breathing slow. And your thoughts grow quiet. Tonight, we travel back more than 3,000 years. To the city of Thebes. During the time of the New Kingdom. When pharaohs ruled from painted palaces. And ordinary people lived their lives in the shadows of temples. This is a bedtime history. Spoken slowly. Calmly. With care. So that the mind may wander gently. And sleep may arrive without effort. There is a small and quiet mystery here. Nothing loud. Nothing sharp. Only old beliefs. Half understood. Carried by time. The night in Thebes is warm. The air rests heavily over the river. A faint mist rises from the Nile at dawn and dusk. Oil lamps flicker along narrow paths. Their light soft and unsteady. The streets are not paved with stone. They are packed earth. Worn smooth by many feet. Dust settles during the day. And cool dampness comes with night. Houses stand close together. Built of sun-dried mud brick. Flat roofs hold baskets and jars. Rooms are small. Often dark. And shared by many. Inside, a simple hearth rests against a wall. Charcoal burns quietly. A clay pot simmers. The smell of grain and onions fills the air. This is the scent of daily life. Meals are modest. Bread made from emmer wheat. Beer thick and nourishing. Sometimes fish from the river. Sometimes vegetables grown in small plots. Meat is rare. Saved for festivals. Clothing is light and simple. Linen wraps for men. Simple dresses for women. Worn thin by sun and labor. Washed carefully. Mended often. Children run barefoot. Their skin darkened by the sun. They carry water jars. Help grind grain. Watch younger siblings. Learning comes through watching. Through doing. Some boys attend temple schools. Where scribes teach them signs and numbers. They sit quietly on the floor. Repeating lessons. Dreaming perhaps of easier lives. Most will return to the fields. Work begins early. Before the sun climbs too high. Farmers walk to the fields along canals. Guiding oxen. Checking water levels. Trusting the river's rhythm. Craft workers shape wood and stone. Their hands steady. Movements practiced. Potters turn their wheels slowly. Weavers pass threads back and forth. Time flows with their work. Markets gather as the day warms. Small stalls of reeds and cloth. Baskets of bread. Jars of beer. Voices low. Trade unhurried. Donkeys carry loads through the streets. Carts creak softly. Men wipe sweat from their brows. Women bargain calmly. Nothing is rushed. The sun sets the pace. Life for ordinary people is shaped by order. By the flooding of the Nile. By the demands of the state. By the gods who are believed to watch closely. Everything has its place. The pharaoh is distant. Almost unseen. Yet always present. His image carved in stone. Painted on temple walls. A living God. So they are taught. What happens within the palace feels far away. Wrapped in ritual. Hidden behind walls. Yet whispers travel. Softly. Carefully. People believe the pharaoh's body holds power. Not just his words. Not just his crown. But his very being. Linked to the land. To fertility. To the turning of seasons. These beliefs shape royal customs. Strange to common ears. Yet accepted. Because they are old. Because they are sacred. Because questioning brings fear. Among ordinary people, intimacy is private. Rarely spoken of. Marriage is practical. Homes are crowded. Privacy limited. Couples share sleeping mats. Often with children nearby. Moments are quiet. Brief. Unadorned. Life leaves little room for indulgence. Fertility is hoped for. Prayed for. Children mean hands for work. Care for old age. A place in the world. Loss is common. Grief is familiar. Women know much about the body. Passed from mother to daughter. Herbs. Charms. Prayers. Used quietly. Never written down. Men speak little of such matters. Their lives filled with labor. With service. With obedience. The body is a tool. To work. To endure. In contrast, the pharaoh's life is surrounded by meaning. Every act tied to cosmic balance. Even the most private moments are believed to affect the land, the harvest, the people. Stories say that kings perform rituals, not for pleasure, but for renewal. To ensure the Nile rises. To ensure the sun returns. These ideas move through the city quietly. Common people do not dwell on them. They accept what is taught. The gods are vast. The king is sacred. Their own lives are small. Yet real. As afternoon fades. Work slows. Shadows lengthen. The heat eases. Families return home. Feet dusty. Bodies tired. Evening meals are simple. Bread again. Beer again. Shared without ceremony. Laughter is soft. Stories brief. Energy is limited. Oil lamps are lit. Wicks trimmed carefully. Light pools on the floor. Walls glow faintly. Outside. The night insects begin their song. Prayers are spoken. To household gods. To ancestors. To the great gods of the temples. Asking for safety. For health. For tomorrow. Sleep comes quickly. Mats laid out. Children curl close. Adults stretch aching limbs. Dreams are shaped by heat. By hunger. By routine. The city rests. Temples loom in darkness. Statues watch silently. The Nile flows without pause. As it always has. As it always will. In these hours, the distance between palace and home feels vast. Yet both are part of the same order. Both bound by belief. By ritual. By time. What seems strange now once felt natural, not discussed, not questioned, simply lived as part of a sacred pattern. The past does not explain itself. It does not apologize. It waits quietly for us to listen. As the night deepens, thoughts slow, breathing softens, the world of ancient Thebes fades gently into darkness, into rest. And so we remain here for a little while longer, drifting among mud brick houses, listening to the river, letting history whisper, until sleep takes you, slowly, kindly. The strangest sexual practices of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Bedtime Stories History. Hello guys, today we will know a little more about the same ancient place. And we will continue slowly, so your thoughts may remain calm, and your eyes may grow heavy. We are still in Thebes, beside the wide Nile, during the age when great temples rose, and ordinary people lived quietly beneath them. This telling is meant for rest, for stillness, for sleep. The night has passed gently, and a pale light now touches the river. The water moves without sound, reflecting the sky, as it has done for countless mornings. In the poorer quarters of the city, people begin to wake. Not all at once, but gradually, as the heat of the day is expected, and work must begin early. Houses open to small courtyards, where jars of water stand cooling overnight. Flat roofs catch the first light. Birds stir. Dust settles again as feet move softly. Women rise and stretch, their linen garments simple, creased from sleep. They grind grain with stone tools. A slow rhythm, steady, unchanging. The sound of grinding carries through the lanes. A sound older than memory. Children wake to it, rubbing eyes, reaching for bread left from the night before. Breakfast is quiet. Thick bread. Beer poured into small cups. No one lingers. The sun waits for no one. And shade will soon be precious. Men lift tools. Wooden handles smooth with use. They step into the streets. Earth beneath their feet still cool. Donkeys bray softly. Loads being tied carefully. The streets wind gently. Between mud brick walls. Some narrow. Some wider. Marked by ruts from sledges. And footprints pressed deep by years. As the city fully wakes, movement increases. Not hurried. Just steady. Life here follows the river. And the sun. The temples rise beyond the homes. Their walls painted bright. Scenes of gods and kings. Order carved into stone. Promising balance. Promising stability. Ordinary people glance toward them. Briefly. Then return to their tasks. The gods are powerful. But bread must still be made. In the fields outside the city, farmers work the soil. Water lifted from canals by hand. Poured carefully. The smell of wet earth rises. Rich. Familiar. This labor supports everything. The temples. The palace. The scribes. The people know this. even if it is never spoken aloud. Back within the city, craft workers open their workshops. Carpenters plane wood slowly. Stone cutters chip carefully. Every movement practiced. No energy wasted. Markets gather again, as they do each day. Reeds laid on the ground. Goods arranged simply. No bright shouting. Trade is calm, based on need. Fish glisten in baskets. Vegetables lie in small piles. Onions, lentils, cucumbers. Hands exchange goods. Sometimes a small copper piece. Often barter. Children move among the stalls. Sent on errands. Watching carefully. Learning the world through repetition. They know the price of bread before they know letters. Some children walk toward temple schools, carrying writing boards. Read pens. Their faces serious. These lessons are demanding, but they offer a different future. Most children will not go there long. They will return to family trades, to fields, to workshops, to the same paths their parents walk. As the sun climbs higher, heat settles over the city. Movement slows. Voices soften. People seek shade, resting when possible. In these quieter hours, stories sometimes pass, softly, carefully, about the palace, about rituals unseen. The pharaoh is believed to renew the world, through offerings, through sacred acts, through obedience to divine order. These beliefs are old, woven deeply into thought. To the people, such things are distant, not for them to question. If the river floods well, if crops grow, then order is preserved. Private life remains modest. Crowded homes allow little privacy. Custom favors restraint. Speech is careful. Gestures are small. Marriage is arranged often. Families joining resources. Sharing labor. Affection may come, or it may not. Either way, life continues. Women bear many children. Not all survive. This loss is known, and carried quietly. Mourning is brief, because work does not pause. Beliefs about the body are practical, mixed with faith. Herbs used for healing. Amulets worn for protection. Prayers spoken softly at night. What is whispered about kings is not practiced by common people. Their lives allow little time and little space for anything beyond necessity. As afternoon passes, shadows lengthen again. The air cools slightly. Workers return home. Tools set aside. Bodies heavy with fatigue. Evening meals are prepared. Bread baked earlier. Beer shared again. Families sit close, sharing warmth and quiet conversation. Stories told to children are simple. Of gods who protect. Of the river's gift. Of behaving well. So the world remains in balance. Oil lamps are lit once more. Their flames steady, casting soft light. The city slowly dims. One household at a time. The palace remains distant. Its rituals unseen. its meaning symbolic. Ordinary people feel their effects only through the rhythm of life. Night returns fully. The Nile reflects the stars. Insects sing. The heat finally loosens its grip. Families lie down to sleep. On mats. On woven pallets. Children close their eyes quickly. Adults follow. The day complete. The past grows quiet again. Not gone. Just resting. Waiting. As it has waited for thousands of years. And we remain here. Listening gently. Letting thoughts slow. As the ancient city of Thebes fades softly into sleep. The strangest sexual practices of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Bedtime stories history. The night has passed once more. And the city wakes again. Slowly. As it always does. Without urgency. Without surprise. We remain beside the Nile. In Thebes. Where life is guided by the river. And by customs older than memory. This telling continues gently. Meant only to soothe. And to carry the mind toward rest. The morning air is cool for a short while. Before the sun begins its steady climb. Light spreads across flat roofs. Touches clay walls. And settles into courtyards. Where water jars stand quietly. People move as they always have. With small gestures. With familiar routines. Nothing here is sudden. Everything follows what came before. In the poorer quarters. Families begin their tasks again. Grain is measured. Dough is shaped. Hands repeat movements learned in childhood. The body remembers. Even when the mind is tired. The city smells of bread and river water. Of earth warming under the sun. Of linen drying on rooftops. These scents mix softly. Unchanged from day to day. Ordinary people speak little of kings. Their lives are too full of labor. Yet the presence of the pharaoh is everywhere. In temple reliefs. In prayers spoken aloud. In the belief that order depends upon him. This belief reaches even into quiet thoughts. The pharaoh is said to embody harmony. Balance between gods and humans. Between earth and sky. These ideas are taught early. And rarely questioned. Among priests and scribes. Ritual knowledge is guarded carefully. Words written on papyrus. Gestures repeated precisely. Nothing is casual. Everything carries meaning. Some rituals concern renewal. The renewal of kingship. Of the land. Of time itself. They are performed privately. Within temple walls. Hidden from common eyes. To the people. These acts are distant. Almost dreamlike. They know only that the gods must be honored. That the king must remain strong. So the river will rise. So the fields will grow green. In their own homes. Life remains simple. Marriage binds families. Children fill small rooms. Laughter is brief. But real. Rest comes easily after long days. There is little room for indulgence. Space is limited. Energy is precious. The body is valued for what it can endure. Not for what it can seek. Women share knowledge quietly. About birth. About healing. About the cycles of life. This knowledge stays within households. Passed hand to hand. Men focus on provision. On service. On obedience to authority. The order of the world feels fixed. Like the path of the sun. Like the river's flow. Children absorb all of this. Through watching. Through silence. They learn when to speak. When to lower their eyes. When to listen. As the day grows hotter. Movement slows again. Shadows gather beneath walls. People pause when they can. Waiting for the sun to pass its height. In these still hours. Belief feels strongest. The gods are near in the heat. In the glare of light. In the hum of insects. Everything feels watched. Temples stand unmoving. Their courtyards bright. Their inner chambers cool and dark. Priests move quietly within. Barefoot. Voices low. Outside. Life resumes its steady pace. No one rushes. No one lingers. The day unfolds as it always has. When evening comes, the city breathes again. Heat loosens its hold. Families return to rooftops. Seeking air. Watching the sky darken. The Nile reflects fading light. Boats drift slowly. Oars dipping without sound. The river does not hurry. It never has. As night settles, stories return. Soft words. About ancestors. About gods. About the proper way to live. The pharaoh remains a distant figure. Sacred. Untouchable. Defined by ritual rather than desire. His life bound to symbols. More than to human comfort. What feels strange to later minds was once simply believed. Not examined. Not explained. Just accepted. As part of the world's order. Oil lamps glow once more. Their light warm and small. Walls catch their flicker. Shadows move slowly. Then settle. Sleep returns easily. Bodies are tired. Thoughts are few. The day has taken its share. And gives back silence. The city grows quiet again. The temples stand watch. The river moves endlessly. And as the ancient night deepens, so too does rest. The past grows soft. Edges blur. Breathing slows. There is nothing left to hold. Nothing left to wonder. Only the steady calm of a world long gone. Drifting gently into sleep. The strangest sexual practices of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Bedtime stories history. The night returns once more. Softly. Without sound. And the ancient city settles again into stillness. We remain beside the Nile. Where time moves slowly. And the past feels close. Not sharp. Not demanding. Only present. Thebes rests beneath a dark sky. Stars spread wide above the temples. The river glides through the night. Carrying reflections. Carrying memory. Unchanged. Ordinary homes grow quiet. Lamps are dimmed. Doors are closed. Families lie close together. Breathing steady. Dreams simple. The daily world of work fades. Fields. Markets. workshops. All recede into darkness, leaving only the rhythm of rest. Within this calm, belief continues its gentle hold. The people trust that order remains, that the gods are satisfied, that the king still stands in balance with them. The pharaoh is far away now, resting within palace walls, surrounded by ritual, by silence, by symbols older than speech. His life is not lived as others' lives are. Each action is measured, each gesture watched, not for pleasure, but for meaning, for renewal, for continuity. To common people, these things are never witnessed. They exist only as ideas, passed through priests, through carved stone, through repeated teaching. The king is believed to embody the land itself, his strength tied to harvest, his health tied to the river, his private rituals thought to sustain the world. Such beliefs are quiet, but deeply rooted. And yet, in the small homes of the city, life remains grounded. Hands still grind grain. Children still wake hungry. The body remains humble, bound to labor. Women lie beside their children, listening to night sounds. Men rest sore muscles. Tomorrow's work already waiting. No one imagines change. The past here is steady, not dramatic, not restless. It flows like the river, endlessly, without question. In these hours, history does not speak loudly. It whispers, through repetition, through routine, through lives lived and forgotten. What later ages may call strange was once sacred. What seems distant now was once central, held without doubt, because belief gave comfort. The people do not seek explanations. They seek balance. They seek food. They seek rest. And when these are found, the world feels whole. As the night deepens further, thoughts grow slow. Edges soften. The ancient city drifts away, like mist rising from the river. The temples remain silent, enduring. The homes remain warm with sleeping breath. And slowly, very slowly, the past fades into quiet darkness, leaving only calm, and rest, and sleep.